Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new live session of Customily. As we are letting people into the chat, we're going to wait a couple of minutes. And in the meantime, let's play some music.
Step into the future, get ready to ignite. Customly's the engine, taking you to new heights. Personalization power, the best you've ever seen. We're rocking the e-commerce scene, living the dream. No limits, no borders, creativity unleashed. From names to crosswords, your products find their niche. Customily's the best, we're leading the race. No app can match us, we're setting the pace. Features so many, we're ahead of the game. With support that's legendary, remember the name. Previews, we've got your back. Dynamic designs, there's nothing we lack. From tees to mugs, from frames to tees, Customily's the partner your store really needs. Innovation's our motto, your growth is our goal. With tools so advanced, we're in total control. Customily's the best, we're leading the race. No app can match us, we're setting the pace. Features so many, we're ahead of the game. With support that's legendary, remember the name. So if you're chasing sales and aiming for the sky, join the Customily family, it's time to amplify. We'll take you higher, set your brand apart. With endless options, we're the e-commerce heart. Customily's the best, we're leading the race. No app can match us, we're setting the pace. Features so many, we're ahead of the game. With support that's legendary, remember the name. Customily, the top of the charts. Transforming every product, winning customers' hearts. With rock vibes and passion, we'll always be true. Customily's the app made just for you.
Okay, everyone, welcome to this new live session of Customily. Thank you for waiting. We are getting started right now with a very particular live session. We're going to be launching and giving you all the details of our new feature, Gradient Fill. We have a color fill, and now we can add gradients with as many steps as you need. It's going to be a great feature. I'm going to show you a couple of ideas so you can get a sense of what can you do with this new feature. Of course, first of all, we're going to be introducing our team today. I'm going to be your host, and as co-host is going to be Joffrey. Joining again back from some time is Cecilia on the chat, and we're going to say a happy birthday to Josefina, who is out today. So we're just one step short, but slowly getting back to our full team, getting ready for all the live sessions of the second half of the year. So today we're going to be talking about our new feature, Gradient Fill. We're going to see what is this, why is this so interesting and a kind of a game changer for summer season. This is a very colorful season. So we picked that particular topic to launch this new feature and show you some interesting ideas along the way. We're going to see some summer POD products, of course, and a tutorial on how to use the gradient fill and create a really cool, stunning summer shirt. Of course, we're going to have a Q&A time as always. So save your questions for later, or as we go by the presentation, maybe you have some questions on that point. Happy to answer them along the way. Right. So to get started, we're going to welcome Joffrey also on the stage and start talking about our new feature, the gradient fill. We also have a very clear idea of what can you do in that example you see there. So hello, Joffrey, welcome.
Thank you very much, Jose. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again on these live sessions. We are always thrilled to host for you. And absolutely, as Jose was mentioning, we are thrilled and happy to announce the gradient field that's going to make your lives easier when offering personalization for your clients. This has been highly requested over time. But we are also grateful and happy that our development team worked on it a lot to have it launched already. And it's coming right on time for the summer season because you can use the gradient field to offer different variations and inspiration for your designs up there and letting your customers personalize their text using multicolor gradients. And you can use this feature to create inspirational, seasonal, or color themed designs for your products.
Definitely, yes. And to get started with this, just so you understand that you as a Customily user will be creating the gradients and then offering them as color choices for your customers. So customers won't be putting together their own gradient. We always believe that takes time, and time is important when converting and when customizing. So it's up to you to put together really cool designs and really cool gradient tones and thresholds, so you can offer those gradient options right on your product and design. And that's what we're going to be doing the tutorial, so you can get the idea. Sometimes it's just one single gradient and you can just type whatever you want, and you're going to see that you can modify your stroke to create something like the Liam hat you see there. So you can combine a lot of things and definitely get the audience and your public directly to what you want to offer as a color palette of your gradients. And so to get started, you can say we can apply this gradient fill to to any customizable text. That means single line text, curved text, and warped text. That's very important to know that we can actually apply this new feature to all three text types we have in Customily. Okay, and it's a multicolor gradient, meaning that you can have the first and the last step, or you can add steps along the way and set it up with your colors and also preview. You can also control the angle, so you can actually rotate your gradient, so it doesn't have to be horizontal. It can be vertical or diagonal in any way you want. This works, like I said, with any custom text. Also, whatever font you have will adapt, and whatever special character you have will also adapt in that color. It definitely adds visual appeal and a modern design, and it's very colorful and very particular for. We also had this announced on the blog as part of wedding season and bachelor party season. So it's really cool to have that many color variations, especially when you have a particular branding color and you actually want to create the effect of having everything on the same text. Right? You have from sky blue to white to gray, and you want all that to be there. So creating texts with gradients is a great way to keep the brand identified with the color. Also, it will give customers more control over their personalization. So keep that in mind, because as many options you offer, it will be very interesting for them to see them change. And you see that on the tutorial.
All right. As we all know, summer season is just around the corner, and summer season is all about color. That's why this is a great time, a great opportunity for you to use the gradient fill or gradient feature to offer bold and expressive colors that match clip arts or backgrounds that you're creating as a theme for your clients. You can create ocean blues with gradients of blues. Combinations that match, for example, tropical fruits, vibrant festival colors, and etc. You can offer this and reflect the seasonal energy and the seasonal vibe um, to directly impact the emotions in your product, so your clients can tweak them to their liking with the text colors and text feature. um, oh, because we know that these colors and these vibrant themes are eye-catching, you can thrive on this to create aesthetic, evergreen products and designs that are not only for the summer season. Keep in mind that we always foster and try to instill the use of our features through all of the seasons, and you can use this to create products that will last in your catalog. So you can apply this feature to existing text features in design, sorry, in your products, and making your designs feel fresher and nicer and with a premium and on trend catalog, if you will. All right. Not only for summer, we're thriving on this, but you can use this feature to apply to other existing designs in your catalog.
Definitely. And well, as you can see, the summer example with probably 3 to 4 steps, and also adjusting the position of the steps so you can have a thinner line of white, and that way creating that particular effect is really cool. And as Sharply says, this is a color concept. So basically, as seasonal events and times of the year pass by, your your gradient tools and your gradient designs will change, not having to stop using that. So Christmas is going to be a very huge use of gradients, but on summer season we are currently showing you examples. But in any case, any design, you can think of this. If you have, we're going to see it on the example, you have a white background, for example, your gradient can start or end on white and create a fading effect. So gradients can have that special and particular effect when you are designing pretty much anything, any time of the year. So keep that in mind. That is not just creating a full grade a range of colors. Sometimes it's just a fade. Sometimes something very subtle, very slightly insinuating, but it's not a flat color. There's something else there. So that effect is also interesting because it's eye-catching. It's not a flat color. So when it comes to sorry, I didn't change. All right. So when it comes to summer season, to go into particular, we definitely believe there's a lot of more creativity involved in ingredients for personalizing products. Titles are great, texts are great, and the color palette and also the effects that we are generating here will always be in the same tone. In fact, if you want to combine our last live session of meta filters with gradients, your prompt can have particular color tones and your gradient can have particular color tones, and you will see that your whole design, like the case of the summer cat mom, your whole design can change together, and you can see those effects eye-catching and visualizing. And for customers, will be just uploading a picture, just typing something, but the effect will be like they're pretty much generating graphics, because of the complexity of the strokes and the gradient fill. Of course, this definitely impacts on the business. And why is it so important? Well, basically, the gradients will always have a higher eye-catching, a higher engagement, because you don't see flat colors, and that's very important. On the way, everything you see around you in the world has a shades, has shadows, has gradients. Basically, everything you see will not be flat colors. So whatever you see on your products, on your designs, having a gradient will create that sense of realistic effect, and will kill that effect of flat color that you sometimes get, right? So in that line of reasoning, this will increase that perceived value. Basically, um, your ads, your designs, everything will be more attractive, more vibrant, and will definitely be considered to be more valuable when you purchase that. Of course, we said this before, there's a seasonal relevance. So every season has its colors, fall, Thanksgiving, Christmas, summer. So going into those tones for your ads, for your designs, will definitely be something that people will associate those colors with the event and the season. That's very important. So having one color may be too risky. Having a gradient definitely does the trick.
Absolutely. These are classic summer PLE products. These are evergreen products that people list out for this season, and combining all of these options like the t-shirts, the tumblers, tote bag, beach towel, hats, and the phone cases, combining this with the newest feature that is a gradient will be an eye-catching match for your catalog. For example, I can already think of a beach towel with a, for example, tequila sunrise theme color gradient on it. You can definitely create unique designs with the newest feature and combine them with the summer products that are evergreen and that are sold out products all the seasons, every year in this time of the year. Of course, you're going to have all of these products available in all of the PODs that we have partnered with. And make sure you test out whichever version you would like to offer from whichever provider you would like to list. And, just use our features that are out there created for you. And we take inspiration from your requests all of the time.
Yes, definitely. Also, alongside POD products, we we have some back season live sessions on summer products. I'm recalling now that we did a beach ball once,
Mhm.
and a couple of other products related to summer. So go back to our YouTube channel, check out live sessions that are about summer. You'll see some great ideas, some great products using POD, some great products just as a product basis or your own products, and give it a twist on whatever designs we have been offering, we have been showing you. Give it a twist with gradients. Think about what was maybe not completely attracting you on that design, and give it another thought. Think it again, turn it upside down with gradients, and you'll see how things definitely change when you start using more colors in the same expression. And like I said, you don't have to have a rainbow of colors on your whole text. It's a matter of thinking of what's going to look better, what's going to relate to the season, to the design, and also to your customers. So it's very important to think about the colors. Colors are definitely a branding matter, very important. And now with gradients, you can open the world to more possibilities to define your brand and your products and your designs. And if you need more inspiration, we have some examples on our demo store. So visit our official demo store, check out our gradient products. We have some really cool ideas. In fact, one of the top products we have designed has a summer trip kind of design, and we have added some watercolor effect landscapings. We're going to be using those today to create a product. Right. So I think we're off to start with something. What you say, Geoffrey?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Let's see how we can use gradient fields to make amazing summer shirts. All right. So I'm going to stop presenting and sharing my screen, entire screen. All right. Share. There you go. Right. So this is a product we created while experimenting with gradients. We picked a white T-shirt from Burger Prints, and we created a design that basically will generate a memento of a family trip. Right. So this is going to be a family trip, we will be selecting the destination and, of course, the number of family members and a message at the bottom. So I'm going to quickly play around with this just to show you how it looks. In fact, I'm going to just put my last trip. So I'm going to see. Right, so you can see as you can typing, if it's going a bit slower, or that's on my side, I'm just going to take some letters off so you can see just how it's yeah. So our design says the Rodriguez summer trip. We are going to say, okay, so family members, free family members is going to be, first is going to be, then it's going to be, and finally like that. And we're going to add a message. This was yep. In fact, oh, sorry about that. Oh, am I typing? Oh, sorry. So I was typing. There you go. Yeah, perfect. So this is my design. In fact, I can change different landscapes. I think this landscape is more related to what I was, what I saw on the trip. And when I changed the graphic, I changed the gradients. That's what I was talking about. We were talking about earlier when you said you can match your graphics and your style with your gradients, and you can affect this. So if I were to keep my green and I were to change to this image, it may not have a relation in colors. But when I change to this sun and water, you see how the gradient changes. So these basically are color options. We just generate gradients as we generate flat colors, just like this. And you see how it changes and keeps relating the gradients with the graphics you see. Basically, we're going to create something like this. Remember, these assets will be shared with you on our share folder with all the assets of the live sessions. And quickly, we're going to create some structure here. So first of all, we're going into Customily. And because we're going to be creating a new product on PODs, we're going to create a new design. So I'm going to create a new design by clicking here or going to the My Design section. Just click here. Right, let's put a name on this. Let's hide this. Yeah. All right, so we're going to call this the live session summer trip. Yep. As you know, we always begin with a square big canvas. And if we want to keep the to organize our objects on the right place, we definitely want to change this to the proportion of whatever we are printing on. So I know for a fact that the t-shirts usually have a 12 by 14 inches proportion, right? So I just clicked on the edit resize button at the top center, and I created a slightly portrait proportionate canvas. So with this aspect ratio, even if I create a 121, 140 inches, doesn't matter. It's going to keep the aspect ratio and then adjust to whatever product I'm going to be using, whether it's t-shirt, hoodies, sweatshirts, or tumblers, right? So this is the aspect ratio that I want to use as a reference for my design. Okay, and let's say we start with a warped text because our family title will be a warped text. So basically, let's start with this. Let me try with family, or maybe. All right. So this is our warped text. I can adjust the warping like this. I can make it a bit flatter on the top. I think I had that idea, or not that flat, something like this. Yeah, but it's going to be more affected, the curve on the bottom, something like this. And if I toggle the warp, I can adjust the proportion of the text. This is very important because we definitely want this to be bigger or smaller, depending. But we have to two adjustment instances, warping and sizing. So let's align this to the center and to the top. So we have the first proportions. We definitely need to change some stuff about here, probably the font. Let me see if I have some, I think it was called Rockwell, the one that I wanted to use. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this looks close enough, maybe not that perfect. We can use that, or as you can see, any font you can think of will work with warped text and with colors. So, all right. Sounds like I could use this. I was just trying to see more fonts just so you can see how it looks. All right, so we're going to keep this one. And we definitely recommend you try with a long name just to see how much it compressed. So if you go, could be something like this or something longer. Like that. Yep. And so far so good. This is let's keep something like this so you can see bigger. So this is basically our title. Now, how do we begin creating colors? Well, as you know, here you can change, you can add color options or pick from a library, or now when you click on a color to modify this, you have solid colors in all these million color options, or now you have gradient. And when you have gradient, you see an interface like this. So the gradient we are offering right now is linear. Remember, we are still on beta, and this is a lot to play with, so you won't get bored easily. And right now, I'm beginning from white to black on a horizontal face. So if I go apply, I get this effect. If I click again on the choice here, and I change this to, for example, 90 degrees, and I apply, I get this effect. Like I told you, this could be a fade. Now let's start playing around with a lot of color options. So my second color option, a new color option, could be a flat color, right? So basically I can connect with this, or I can click on the second color option, go to gradient, and you know what? I'm going to copy this text and put it here. Instead of black, we're going to have I need to click. If you want to change a color here, you need to click on the small box so you can get the color picker and you can actually put the code and click apply. Always click apply to apply changes. I'm going to put 90 here. So it's basically the same we had, only it's going to be brown. So I'm going to click apply. If I click outside, I lose my changes. So make sure you apply. So otherwise, you're testing all the time, testing, right? So now, right now we have two color options, black and brown, yeah. And basically, we have a gradient, so we can create the fade, right? So let's add another. Let's add another text. The text that we're going to be adding is going to be a common text like this, yeah. And this is going to say, we're going to go for character. We're going to say all caps, and call this summer trip. Yeah. So this one is a fixed value. We're going to set it fixed later on the options. Correct. So right now we're going to keep it like this. Make sure it's centered, and definitely change the character. Let's go and play. Find something. I think this one. Yeah, I like this one. Okay, so let's say we are going to put some color into this. So I'm going to close character, open color, and it's just going to be one choice. And it's going to be a gradient, and probably going to start not with a white, but with, let's try to do something, a lot of colors like this one. Then it's going to end on, not black, it's going to end on yellow, like that. So we move this and we pick this, apply. All right, so now we have the first and the end. I recommend you go apply just to make sure you have the gradient saved. And now we're going to open this again, but we're going to start adding stops. So we're going to start one stop at half there, and that stop will be probably blue. So let's go here, apply, and apply again. So you see the changes. Let's open this again. We can do this in one sitting. I'm just applying so you can see the changes right away. Now, what happens if I move this like this? As you can see, the steps have a coordinate between 0 and 100. That's basically the percentage of the gradient you're occupying and you're positioning this. So if you want to be very precise, you can actually input, I don't know, 66 and then add another stop at 33. And basically you have a split into 3 options like this. Also, you can start moving this. White is too much. I'm probably going for sky blue. Like that. And you can start moving this and you see the preview here like that. And we can also add, I changed this to, we can start with the 5 parts. Okay, and probably we need something in the center. We can add another step. Let's apply this, right? So you see how it starts to change. And if I basically apply a center step, probably going to be 50 and 50, there you go, is going to be white. Now the white may be a bit too much, so but we want a short red, a short yellow, but we want also a short white because white is taking like a lot of things. Remember we saw the summer example? So in this case, what we do is we don't move this because this stop is basically keeping this red in the short distance. So we're going to create another step here, for example, or actually moving in this place here. We're going to use the same code, right? So we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it here. So now we can control how narrow is the white. And we do another stop. So we can control how narrow is the white on the other side. So we basically copy this code blue and going to change this white to the second point here, apply. So now we can control just how narrow this is. So if this is 50, maybe this can be 45, this can be 55, and we have a very narrow white controlled by 2 points of the same color. This is how you craft complex, let me apply this, how you craft complex gradients, right? And now we can actually come here and just put this in a 45-degree angle and do something like this, right? I know we're just testing, but this is you playing around and see what comes up. So let's put this 90, apply, it looks like this, right? So we are getting somewhere here. And to add to the effect, remember what I told you, you can always control your stroke. So let's say we want a black stroke in, I don't know, maybe 10. Yeah, you see it starts to shape up pretty nice. That will be too much, yeah. And if I say, right, so maybe I don't want this to be 90, I want this to be 0 because it's a long element, so all the color faces will look better on horizontal. Now it looks pretty nice. So this could be our title, yeah? And as long as we don't put any other color options, it's going to be our fixed gradient fill for this particular title. Okay, so let's add some more elements. We wanted to add a series of graphics. So for that, we need a dynamic image. Dynamic image will allow me to upload my images or pick from a library. I'm just going to upload them all together. So I'm jumping in today here. These are the 4 designs, like that. All right, so these are really big quality, high quality images. So bear with me as they upload. All right, loaded number 3, and it's about to load number 4, and we are all set. All right. So when this is finished, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it bigger and probably going to throw it on the background because it's going to be, oh, wait, yeah, right. It's going to be bigger. Yeah, it's going to overlap. So we don't want that. We want this to be like this. And this is going to be the clip art. Or maybe select destination. Yeah, select destination. That's the one we had there. So I'm going to drag this down so it never conflicts with the trip. And I have this image, this one. Yeah, they all look pretty nice. Okay, so this is going to be the family name. And this will be the summer trip. Remember, this is going to be a fixed value. We're going to change that on the options. And now we just need to add a couple of extra items. We're going to add a free names. The reason why we do only free is, well, because we are short on time and we want to cover everything. So we're going to have family member number 1, then we're going to Control C to copy, or Command C and Command B or Control B to copy on the same place. So I can just change the X coordinate, and we're going to call this family member number 2. And finally, we're going to copy and paste again to create the family member number 3, like that. All right, so seems pretty much there. All right, family member number 3. Okay, so this is the free family member option. And so we can have the choice of 2 family members and 1 family member. We definitely want to create layouts. So we're going to select all 3 elements, create a layout. So now we have this. This is going to be free members. We are going to duplicate this, or better yet, I think we're going to copy and paste. So we have a brand new layout with the same information, right? You see, we have, let me expand this so you can see. We have the same items on 2 different options, 3 members, and this is going to be 2 members. And of course, we need to delete 1 member. And these 2, we definitely want them to be aligned to the workspace on the center, like that. Correct. Finally, we're going to copy this and paste just to add the 1 member option. I don't know if this is going to be attractive when selling, but we need to have the option, right? So we have a family of 1 in here. Then we have a family of 2 and 3. Of course, you can do the same up to 100, 10, 20. My recommendation is you do the same way I did it. You create the largest number of names first, and then you start copying and pasting and removing family members and rearranging the positions. It's easier to delete items than to create and rearrange items. So that's my recommendation. Start with the largest layout, largest number of elements, and then start copy pasting and removing 1 item at a time, like I just did here. I started with the 3 members, and then I just copy and paste and remove just 1 member. Okay. All right, so we have the family members, we have the summer trip, the family name, the destination. We just need the final message. Let's do a final message in a curved text so we can actually test this here. It's going to be convex here. All right, and probably it's going to be larger. Yeah, larger, and like that. Correct. Of course, this will not be. Let me try to make this center and bigger. Yeah, definitely want this to be bigger. Okay. Maybe not that big. Okay, and with another font, that one, on a. Okay, so this is going to be Or are you going to make it all caps? Yeah. Okay, so this looks pretty nice. We're going to keep the arc within there. Okay. Now, this is the one that I wanted to create a color effect in gradient. Okay, and I think this happens when I use a test account and I don't have that encouraged. So we're going to keep it like this in black. And we're going to do an extra thing. This is the last thing I want to do. Bottom message. Now, if you recall, when I showed you the example, when you change the image, you change the color combination. So how do we do that with gradients? It's pretty simple. It's like this. We're going to try to match this. So maybe I'll try to go in. Yeah, I'll probably try to change this to 2 steps. So basically, I want to trash the steps here. I did my example with 4 steps. It's a matter of time, but I'm going to keep it in 2. Now, this was going to be from the title will be top to bottom, and the summer trip is going to be left to right. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go to my linear gradient, and my destination here, the first image is the mountains in green. So I pick family name, go to the gradient, and I change this one to, I go to color picker, and I try to find something very light in color, maybe this one, correct? Apply. And then I go here and I change this one from black to a darker green, like that. Apply. And apply again. Okay. I recommend we have this in the same. So basically, if I copy this and I put it in here, I'll make sure. Oh, I didn't click on this on the apply. You saw that. So I'm going to paste this, apply, and also going to copy this and put it on the second line. Right, so we have the same effect in the same color. All right, so now let's go to the second linear option. First, we're going to switch the image. Yeah, and we're going to pick the first color. We're going to go to linear gradient here and change the first color picker. Now, what will be a nice, it could be pretty much this one. Apply. And we're going to click here and pick any of this. Apply. Right, so now it definitely shows the effect. Now here we only have one option because we only created the first one. Now we add another option. Go to gradient. First color will be this. Apply. Second color, we copy this and we turn it here. Apply, always apply. So far, so good. Now let's change to the next image and go to the third color option. Right, really quickly, we're going to create a gradient. We're going to pick color. What could be a characteristical color of this? Maybe this. And all right, apply. And which would be the second one? Could be this. Yeah, it could be something like this. Let's see how it tries. Always, if you apply, you see the effect. Looks like that. All right. Yeah, we'll go for this. And the same goes here. So we're going to add another one, another color option. First color option will be this. Second color option will be this one. Finally, last image. This one. So color option, let's create a gradient here. First will be color picker. Yeah, I think this is going to be nice. Apply. Second one is going to be the grass. Apply. Okay, perfect. Now we come here and we do the same for the other color. It could be easier to copy and paste because there are different elements. One is a warped text and the other one is a flat text. We cannot just copy and paste, basically. That way, if we did that, we will have all these effects. So whenever you are copy pasting the same element, you will carry all the information from the colors. Okay, so now we have this. We have a select destination clipart that will change between 4 images. We have object text number 1, text number 2 changing colors at the same time as the image. Yeah, we have 4 color options here. We have 4 color options exactly the same. Then we have a layout selector and we have a button message. Each layout selector will have family members like this. Yeah. So that's our design, basically. A couple of things we need to adjust when we finish this. Remember, we always adjust the options. So when I click save and I can go into the options, 2 things we need to make sure. We need to make sure that when we click on select destination options, when we click on this clipart, we change the colors of these 2 text elements, number 1 and number 2. Also, summer trip will be a fixed value. Okay, so we definitely don't want to change that. You can, of course. I'm just trying to replicate the idea of our example product. Okay, so let's save the design. Once this is saved, we edit the options directly on the design. So whenever we create a product using this design, those particular option adjustments have been already saved for the design. Okay, done. Excellent. Okay, so my design will be on the top of the list, modified today, and I can click here to rename, or I can click on the edit options. All right, so to navigate the options better, we can open the preview tab here. First of all, we have the layout selector. If you recall this, we have 1, 2, 3 members. Then we have the family name color, the summer trip color, and then we have the destination images and the button message. This is everything the system has recognized and created all the options. Now we said a couple of things we need to change. First of all, summer trip, and I'm going to click on the pencil to locate summer trip, will be a fixed value. So we can copy this and paste it as initial value. And we don't want customers to change it. So we're going to hide the option. That way it's no longer there. Another thing we don't need is the summer trip color. Why? Because the color will change with the images there. So this one, we can trash it. There you go. Now, family name color, again, we don't want this. We just want the color to change with the images. So we're going to trash it as well. So we have the family name, summer trip is a fixed value, the destination is here, and we have the button message. Now, the order in which I created my design, I had the family name, summer trip, destination image, number of people, and button. So I could just make sure my family name is on the first place, summer trip is next, then we change the destination, and then the layout is at the bottom, like that. Okay, so this is a more reasonable flow because you're designing from top to bottom. Finally, we need to make sure these 4 images change the color of the texts as well as changing the image, of course. So I'm going to click on the pencil to open this, locate and open. And I can see here image 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I open this, this is maybe this is going to be like a lake. This will be countryside. I think so. Countryside. This will be beach, and this will be mountains. Okay, so now I have changed my my values, my tooltips. The last thing I want to change is the function. Right now, if I click on Customily function, this tells me that it's switching images within the dynamic image number 3. So I uploaded 4 images to my object dynamic image, and this one is showing me image number 1, this one is showing me image number 2, and so 3 and 4 like that, 3 and 4. Now I want the same for the text. So what I do is this. I add more functions because one option can change multiple objects at the same time by adding functions. I'm going to add a function, and that function is going to be called text color. So basically, I can tell the system, all right, you know what? Change the color of the text number 1 into 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, we created this in the same order, so we basically don't have to think, right? Basically, by default, it will be 1, 2, and 3 will be the same order. I can, of course, input this, but by default, we'll follow the same order. Text number 1 was the family name, and if I add another function and go text color number 2, text number 2 was the summer trip. This structure basically changes the icon, the clip art, and it changes the color of the 2 titles at the top. As simple as that. So let's click save and create a product using this this design. I don't know how we are doing on the chat. I really can't see the chat, but how about you decide the product? You know better than me which t-shirts are selling best on summer. Maybe they are sleeveless t-shirts or woman t-shirts. Just think about what you want. Maybe put it on the chat. We can create whatever product you're thinking of. Maybe you can see a towel, but I think the proportion will look better on a t-shirt, for example. And I can have that on a message.
Yeah, we don't have many questions yet, but you guys that are live, how about you start throwing us some ideas and maybe we can get by. Cecilia suggests creating a notebook, Jose.
A notebook? All right. Okay. Well, you have a t-shirt here, so you can see how it looks. Let's go for the notebook. We can search for notebook on the search bar here and see which providers will have a notebook. Then, of course, we need to see which ones will have a closer proportion to what we created. I think this one is going to be a nice idea. So it's going to be a soft cover notebook. So we're going to click this and check out the variants. All right. So let's. All right, so now we are on Printify. Let's give it a second. All right, let's try it again, but going straight to the provider. Or it's just me.
So how about you try one from Shinon?
All right, let me go here. Start. Could be my connection, so no worries.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, and let's go for the notebook. Spiral notebook. Okay. So we have ruled line paper and graph paper. Yeah, we're going for those 2 variants. We're going to offer both of them, and then we're going to select a design for the print area. Clicking here. It's going to be our design is going to be our live session summer trip. You wait for a second and you get this adjustment page, which is very useful because you can see how your design proportions will fit into this. Right now, as you can see, I'm fitting pretty well, but the thing is, I'm printing the whole thing and I'm getting part of my title out on the spiral. So I have the chance to tell the system, let's adjust this just a bit, enough, make it a bit smaller so we can position this, for example. Yeah, so that's the end of the notebook. So we're going to keep it inside the notebook, but also trying to make sure we don't cut out anything with the spiral. Excellent. Now we have repositioned and adjusted this. We can click confirm and create the product. Yeah, let's click on the top to create the product. Okay, and let's wait a minute. Fonts are definitely something you are going to create on your own, and and use better ideas than I did. The cliparts are going to be shared with you, so following steps by step, you will get done this design and an improved version, definitely in a longer time that it's 20 minutes, but definitely it's going to be it's a great start, to play around with the gradients. I created a top to bottom and a left to right, but we wanted to also show you that you can align and change colors and gradients based on your image choices, because I think it's going to be really interesting that you can match cliparts and titles along the way. Of course, you can also match gradients with your variant color. Sometimes you have a black t-shirt and you have a black and white gradient. You want to change that, so you can. Those are basically color options, the same way we did before. All right, so this is our product. We're going to call this Live Session Summer Trip Spiral Note. Yeah, it's a great idea, because you're definitely going to be taking notes. Right, so I'm going to start with a title. Summer trip. Again, we are free family members. I couldn't pick. I had to pick Ariel, right? Okay. And this is going to be our destination. All right. Excellent. So everything is working. We are just one step away. We definitely want to change this and test if we did. So the summer trip is affixed by, you see it is showing there from the beginning. That's a great thing. That's what we did when we put an initial value and we hit the option. You don't see the option here. What happens if I go to the beach? Then it changes. If I go to the countryside, then it also changes. So that's basically what you do. You have been doing this. If you have been using Customily, you have been changing colors along the way with variants, along the way with images and backgrounds. Now you can do the same with your gradients. But you see how gradients offer you a variety of colors that is just which one will be the color you want to use to identify with this image. Will be the darker blue of the sky, the green of the vegetation, the gray of the boat, whether it's going to be the blue of the water or the yellow of the sun. You don't have to choose anymore. Now it was hard because, okay, so yeah, it's green, or yes, it's yellow, and maybe the bottom is going to be blue. Now this is offering you the chance to combine and to keep everything on the same language and the same color logic. So I'm going to save this to be my product image and publish this product right away. And definitely we're going to open the Q&A, maybe with the screen still sharing, in case we are going to be looking into Customily.
If you guys feel like you have some questions, make sure you pop them up in the chat. It's the time now to address them. There are no questions at the moment, but let's take a look at this product.
Yeah, definitely the product is working. Oh, we have some examples here. Oh, well, depending on the font, you definitely will have some characters to show or not, but that's something we need to pay attention to that. Okay, and I might keep changing. Yeah, my keyboard goes anywhere. All right, so this is our finished product. This is our example of how gradients work, and plus is how you can connect them to your clipart or you're changing backgrounds and images and stuff. We are definitely not going to just show you a gradient and that's it. You saw that when we started to play around with the white and the black and the orientation and all the positioning. You know how the tool works, and you also know that the potential of connecting texts and images now has gone in a great direction, in a new dimension, definitely. So let's stop sharing, go back to our presentation, and check out if we have any other questions there. I know there has been a lot of answering around on the chat, so thank you, Cecilia.
No, we have no questions at the moment, so I guess we can move forward.
All right. Well, if any other questions show up, always you can reach us on our email at support@customily.com. You can also open a live chat to talk to our support team on business hours in EST time. And also definitely join our communities, because there's always sharing, asking, and answering of all Customily related things. How I can do this, what's a live session that talks about this, what can I find the assets, what's new, every single new feature, new release we have, we definitely go to our communities to share that with you first ever. So communities is where you're going to learn what's coming and what's going on with Customily. Well, I think that's all for today. Thank you, Joffrey, and thank you, Cecilia, on the chat. We're going to see you next time on our live session.
Thank you very much, Jose, for hosting. Thank you, everyone, for joining our live session today. It's been a pleasure having you over, everyone, and we'll see you on our next live session.
Yeah. See you soon. Thank you all.